your coach just called you chunky a couple of minutes ago. So how do you feel about that?
Not as much. I mean, I try to cut down a little bit coming into to training camp, but he's a beefy guy.
He is a beefy guy.
I guess everybody around here is beefy. You actually do look a lot bigger than you were last year.
Good, I'm glad.
Yes, he does. He looks like he grew up a little bit.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, well, he did. You look like you were 12 last year when
now
you got
14.
drafted. Yeah, right. I mean, it had to be such a whirlwind last year coming here, Jets starting quarterback, not from the East Coast, and bang, you're thrown right into it. So from your perspective, what was last year like?
Yeah, it was crazy, the ups and downs, but I think it's kind of expected, right, going to a new team and everything, regardless, I think it was a blast, and playing football is always fun no matter what. And so I think the exciting part is now we get to look forward to a new year and the new pieces that we have, and then, of course, like for me, the steps that I've taken to feel like I'm prepared for this year.
It's interesting because, watching and being a man in your shoes at one time in my career, it's not easy. It's not easy when you're a rookie. I had no idea what I was doing, and I'm just wondering, was your head spinning as much as it seemed like it was early in the season? Because when you came back after your injury, it seemed like things calmed down for you and you were able to see things because of what Mike White and Joe Flacco had done in this offense.
Yeah, it was really just understanding what's the most efficient way to prep and play within this offense. Like, what things do I need to know and what things do I don't need to know? I kind of felt like coming into the NFL, I had to know everything, every pressure, every time that we had to pick something up or know every single coverage when you really don't need to. As long as you understand your reads and you know if it's man or zone here, or if they're clouding one side or they're not on the other side, just feeling space, and then just playing fast. I just felt like I wasn't ever playing.
So, they bring in John Beck, your personal quarterback coach, like right in the middle of the season. Like, did you feel like you had too many people in your ear last year? I mean, it felt like there were so many people that were like on you and just trying to get you through the season. Did that ever become cumbersome for yourself?
Yeah, so when we brought in John, we kind of made it a different approach than just being another coach. I told him I don't want just another coach in there repeating exactly what LaFleur is saying and some of the other coaches. And so John was kind of like that guy that wasn't allowed to talk in meetings. He just sat there and listened, and then me and him would come on the field, and then hey, this is what he meant. This is how he was trying to come off. He meant to say things like this. It was kind of just a way to kind of filter the things I should be listening to and kind of shouldn't be listening to. And then it was just a good voice of somebody to like talk through things. Like, hey, what'd you think about that? What should I have done this a little bit differently? Or, he definitely helped in that aspect a lot of coming from almost a player's perspective rather than a coaching perspective.
How good was it when Joe Flacco got here? Did he help? Because, he wasn't here at the beginning, got here in the middle of the season. And I always wondered why the Jets wouldn't have had him on the roster anyway. I think maybe he wanted to move to Philadelphia, whatever the reason is. But it seemed like everything kind of calmed down when he finally got here.
Yeah, and he brings a different element, right? It's not Joe's not going to sit there and purposely like overdo it with trying to coach me. Like, that's not what his job is, and he knows that, and I don't expect him to do that. But he helped in the way of just like, I get to see his thought process when he's on the field. I can almost kind of see exactly how he's approaching something. And I think the big huge difference between me and him is he loves to just simplify the game, and he plays fast because he's like, I don't really care about all this stuff. Like, this is like my read is here to here, and that's it. Like, I don't like, why are you even thinking about that other stuff? So he taught me how to just simplify the game, and you can't play fast if you're thinking about a lot of stuff.
Now, confidence is fascinating to me when you're someone like yourself, because you go from a star in your home state, then you're the second overall pick in the NFL draft, and then you come here, and of course, rookie season is bumpy. Did you maintain your confidence through that, or how did that work?
Yeah, of course. I've always felt like I've gotten confidence from an off season, going into an off season and feeling like I've prepared, and I feel like the preparation is kind of where my confidence comes from. Going into this year, I feel like I know I've done everything I can and try to prepare the right way that I feel confident going into this first week, and kind of, I can kind of solidify that with practice. I feel like I'm seeing the field well and I'm going through things well, so then I feel really confident going into games and stuff, and I kind of feel like that's where it comes from.
It seems like your teammates, at least the ones we've talked to, and your coach say that things, you grew up 10 years in 1 year. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, you definitely need to mature quickly, and I think I know being in this stage is going to do that for you. It's going to teach you to grow up real quick and start to understand what voices you actually need to hear and what things you need to actually listen to rather than the outside noise. And so for me, it's like, how can I keep those voices down to like 2 or 3 people in the quarterback room and my coaches and teammates, and just focus every day on how we can get better together as a unit.
You know what I like? I like the fact that you took a bunch of your teammates to Idaho.
Yeah.
And you guys, what were you, just playing golf out there, just hanging out? And did you select the place to go and put it all together?
Yeah. So last year we went to Miami, and all those guys are from that area, and they've all been been there before. So I was trying to find something that they've never done before. So I found this little ranch. My marketing team kind of helped me set the whole thing up, and I wanted to take them out like west, like up in the mountains, somewhere they've never been. We took those guys boating. It was kind of probably a little culture shock for them. They've never been and done stuff like that. So we took them golfing and boating and got to go spend some time just out in the middle of nowhere.
Off the grid, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got back onto Twitter and said, did I miss anything?
Yeah, did you miss anything? Right, yeah, that's what you wrote. So obviously we knew what was going on.
Yeah, we were off the grid.
Yeah, so was that, what was that like, seeing all these rumors at social media and having to come back and deal with that?
Yeah, I'm sure anyone in my position and yourself, like you understand there's stuff like that you have to deal with, and your private life's kind of under a microscope, and you got to kind of understand that your family and those close to you, and they understand the truth and who you are and all that. So that's all that matters, And besides that, it really doesn't matter.
So the story's not true then, is what you're saying.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. All right,
very good.
But here's something that's very interesting, and I never had to deal with this, and I don't know how people like you do deal with this. Like your mom's on Twitter, she's on social media and everything,
right.
and like she's a thing. She's like everybody's paying attention to it.
Right.
Have you ever said, "Hey, Mom, can we just calm down a little bit with the social?"
Didn't you offer her money to get rid of it?
Well, so that was kind of at first, and it was because after the draft, so many Jets fans had followed her, and for me, I obviously don't want my mom out there in the social media realm, but kind of the thing is like she doesn't do any posting about me. She never posts about me. It's her Instagram's not about me. It's about her daily lifestyles and her workout stuff that she's doing, and she's an amazing cook, so she's always posting cool recipes that she's doing and things throughout her day. So she has a great following of people that truly care about her content.
And people don't realize that this had gone on well before you even became a thing here in New York.
Right. So she was already doing it all,
yes.
right? But then obviously the draft and everything kind of blew her up a little bit as well. And so for me, I'm just like you keep it to what you're doing, and it'll be all right.
Mom's got a brand, man.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. You got a brand. She
just wants to make the world a better place.
Does she have a marketing team like you do? No. Okay.
Not yet.
Anyway.
I think you're working towards it. Sometimes when there's stories of personal life stuff, it's negative. It seemed like this was a positive for you. Like everybody was like, wow, Zach Wilson's grown up. Zach Wilson's got this. Zach Wilson's got some dog in him. All that stuff that happened. Like, did you hear all of that stuff while that was going on?
I mean, kind of from the guys on the team, but like I said, I'm not a big social media guy. I'm not scrolling through stuff. But
you deleted all that, right?
Yeah, I got buddies sending me stuff and all that.
I could just imagine people all over you, man. It's it's nonstop.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
I mean, being you has got to be exhausting. I mean, really. Yeah. I mean, seriously. I couldn't handle it. I'm telling you right now, I couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
I mean, all of the stuff that you have to deal with. And then, I mean, you were the Jets quarterback. You still haven't gotten over it.
I still have PTSD from those days, yes. Yeah. That was a long time ago. But I'd have to deal with the social media aspect of it. Right. And that's the thing, I mean, and you came from BYU. It's a different place, a different type of way of doing things. And this is New York. You get thrown right into the fire. And sometimes, dealing with that will make you a better player, or sometimes guys can't handle it. I don't. Your predecessor didn't handle it very well, and it's not his fault. It's just like he himself got handed the reins of a franchise before he was ready.
Right.
But it seems like you've really taken steps this offseason to make sure that you are ready.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look back at the film, like the first few games of last year, that's not you playing football, is it?
Right. No, not at all. It's kind of one of those things like, when you're a sophomore in college, you look back at your freshman year, like, what am I doing?
Right, yeah.
You understand what you got to be doing better. There's so many things, but I think I also just understand that's part of the process. I did the same thing in college. You take those steps every year, and you start to just figure it out, in whatever way it is. You
know how good your wide receiver core is, right?
Yeah, they're legit.
They are legit. They're totally legit.
Right.
Fast, quick, maybe not big, but how do you feel about, growing with Garrett Wilson and A.J. Brown and everybody else?
Right. I mean, obviously, I think.
I keep saying A.J. Brown.
Yeah, right. Corey Davis.
Corey Davis.
Right,
yes.
I mean, obviously they jump off the page when you watch these guys on the field. The talent is there. Those guys are so physically gifted. We really have some freaky guys all over the field. But of course, they're still growing like we are. E. Moore is just going into his second year, and Garrett's swimming a little bit just like we were. You can see he'll make some amazing plays that you're like, wow, this dude is special. And then he'll do some bonehead rookie thing that you're like, come on, dude.
But can you help him now? You can talk to him.
Yeah,
now.
and that's what's so great is I feel like our team chemistry is so strong right now, and the guys guys are all excited to be here, and Garrett's got such a great head on his shoulders. He really wants to be great, and I think he will just because of that. He's so talented, and he wants it bad. So I'm excited to kind of just go through that whole learning process because he's going to get a lot better with time.
Now you've got a gold chain with the state of New Jersey on it. Now all you need is a tribal tattoo and a girlfriend named Trish, and you'll really be New Jersey. I mean, so tell us about that. I mean, only been here a couple years.
Yeah,
seems like you love the state.
Yeah, just a little birthday gift. My birthday was last week. So.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So how old are you now?
Just turned 23.
Oh, jeez.
God.
Man, oh, man, oh, man. I mean, you have seen some of the contracts that have been signed lately, haven't
Crazy.
you? Yeah, they are. It's a pretty good motivating tool, I would think.
Right.
I mean, you have to be thinking about it. You want to win. You want to be here and get your number retired, all that stuff. But, I mean, that's seeing those numbers for quarterbacks has to be mind-blowing for a guy like you.
Right, of course. I mean, I think even the position I'm in right now, like it's awesome to ever think like I get to do this for a living, but I don't think you get to this point unless you're doing it for the love of the game, right? I didn't do any of this for the money of it. Of course, is it great? I don't have to worry about going and being accounted or something that I don't want to do.
Plus, you can fly free on JetBlue, I think, right?
Right.
Right, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, but the other thing I wanted to ask you, and I don't know if you do have a relationship. I'm assuming that you do with Steve Young.
Yeah.
So I would imagine he's a pretty good source of help, and if you ever need to reach out to somebody that's been through it, he's been through it.
Yeah, on and off the field.
Right.
He's killing it in both aspects. So he's a great one to reach out to. Awesome guy.
So the offseason, you went down to Miami this past year. Do you stay around here for the most part of the offseason? You take little trips. You go back home. I mean, how into New Jersey are you?
Yeah, I mean the offseason, of course, I left almost the entire time and did some trips. I went to Miami, hung out with Brax and Michael Carter, and then I went out to Arizona and E. Moore and Mims and Jeff met me out there, and then I went to Nashville and saw Corey in Nashville. So we had a good little trip of moving around and seeing some of the guys. I got to go to some country concerts. It was more of the hanging out.
Who's your favorite country artist?
I'm a big Morgan Wallen guy.
Oh, of course,
yeah. Morgan Wallen fan.
I sang Whiskey Glasses live on the show once. Not very well, but all right. We do have to let you go. You have to get to work, so I don't want to make you late because then everybody will hate us around here. We don't want that. So it's great meeting you. All the best this season, and we're looking forward to a huge year from you.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, have a great one.
All right,
thanks.
All right, see you, bud.
Zach Wilson on The Fan and CBS Sports Network.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.